Yeah, no. Funnily enough, I only just got about there by the skin of my teeth, so just give me a couple of seconds while I sort a few bits and pieces out. I'll try and talk while I do it, but just a bit backlogged. 1 second. So this stream is going to be me reading through 2 articles. I mean, they're not very long, so I mean, if I don't have a lot to add to them when I read through them, I might read some more as well, depending on it. But these are the 2 I've vetted for this discussion, and I'm not sure whether I should go into the other ones, and I'll probably bet them first. But this is by someone who people who are related to the Arizona struggle will recognize the name of. This is from the blog of Pak Iral. Absolute legend for documenting this stuff and writing these blogs and taking in the writings of other people and putting them on these blogs. Like everyone who's been in the struggle of Arizona, good work as you always see. These people struggle hard and struggle right, and they know what the fuck they're doing. I'm just preparing myself because I'm bloody I got back from the shop a bit fucking late, and I thought I had enough time to get ready, and I didn't. I thought I should have said it for 8:30. You know, when you go against your own feelings, you bugger yourself over. It should have gone for 8:30. But it'll only take me 2 minutes. The Lenin-Mao Communist Union. Yes, he was a member of the Lenin-Mao Communist Union. I can't say union properly, apparently. Okay, tobacco. Yeah, I mean, what's it? As commies like Trump. I mean, they like Trump because Trump's funnier than Biden. That's why. What's it? This has come from a reputable source, people. By the way, like this is not from someone who's just distant. This is someone who's been to Arizona. He's asked. He's made sure. He's got all the information. He knows who SMG really is. The true class enemy. But only be a couple minutes and I'll be ready. I do apologize, everyone. I'm nearly ready. Do you think anyone's gonna cry about the thumbnail? What's happening? People gonna throw a tizzy fit about the thumbnail. Oh, I'm definitely keeping it on. I'm just wondering if people are going to throw one. I don't give a shit what people say. Why is British talking about America? Because British knows people in Arizona and what's it? Oh wait, no, it's in America, so I gotta do the America. Arizona. Fucking, I don't know how they talk. They shit through their mouths. That's all I got. But no, like what's it? I've got a lot of heart for the struggle there, not just on the basis of the native and black and Irish and other that people that are struggling, but the different types of movements that have built there that are very beautiful. Especially my ties to Comrade Net and that therefore ties that has to PSFM, because you know what's it? I mean, I already agree fucking shit tons with PSFM. We're on the fucking same page, but even if we weren't, what's it? We agree enough that fucking as long as Net is supporting them and loving them, I'm going to be supporting them and loving them and supporting them, and that means that I got to commit to that, and I know that that's the right choice. Fucking like solidarity out to the PSFM comrades if any of them are able to hear this, and solidarity to Arizona comrades in general, from the anarchists, the Bundists, the fucking communists, everyone. Yeah, Pocky Row is why Unruh woke up again. The reawakening of Unruh in 2019 that shot it up his ass and got him back into gear. It was beautiful to see. Like it was a return. It was a return of the old, and what's it? You know, main drive that I want to be as I'm involved in this organization is protecting that and making sure that Umru continues in his massive drive forward to be vying for the politics of the people and engaging in the politics of the Lumpen, because the Lumpen are the future. But the two things I'm going to be reading here is one called Arizona, the Twilight Zone, and another called Midnight Productions is Not Fiction. These aren't very long, but I will be trying to fill in any bits that I can to add sort of context to anything, and not just context, but also apply my criticism on the situation. Why did you put the symbol of Vosh on the thumbnail? I really like this one. The symbol, you mean, wait, Specky V, don't you mean the symbol of Marpin? No, what's it? Vosh lives up in Washington, though. This is the flag of Arizona in its full true form. No, Bad Out Boy has not been terrorizing the comments. I wonder if there's been another power outage because of those damn bloody Israelis. It's always their fault, as far as I'm concerned. Just sneaking in and turning off his power switch, little bastards. But that's it. He'll be back in obvious. He's a fucking, what's it, legend. And any of you who haven't watched the stream, he's alive, he's alive, there we go. He's just chill. Anyone who hasn't watched the stream that me and him did, what's it, go on and watch that, because that's fucking sick shit. And he's on fire the entire stream. He tells you as it is, where it is, and what to say. I'm nearly ready, people. I am a professional. I know what I'm doing. Zionism is the enemy, yes. Let's leave that on the screen. Respect, Bad Boy. I think they should start calling you Badger, like the animal. Because what's it? I always feel like I'm gonna have a stroke when I say Bad Boy. Like, I don't know, my name just has a bit of my mouth doesn't work properly. Just anglicize you. I do apologize. You can tell me off later. No, please, no. BRB. It sounds like I'm about to leave. BRB stands for be right back. I pronounce it all as one word and just say brrb. Okay, I am saying I'm nearly ready for the last bloody time, I guess, but it won't be because I'll end up saying it again because I am a fucking fool. This is what happens when you bloody late to go shop. It's because me and Geezer I was gonna bloody grab a bloody green off if I can took a piss to get back. Not because he was trying to take the piss, he was just busy, but that's it. We're a salty type, the English. I got English stuff. Okay, well, I'm going to be talking about Arizona. I've just been, the stream has just been a bit dead at the start. I've not gone anywhere yet, so you haven't missed anything because I've been setting myself up whilst the stream has started because I set it up for a scheduled broadcast and I popped to the shop and I ended up getting caught up too late. That's it. Lumpen proletarian problems. I am. What's it? I should be ready in a few secs. I'm just fucking applying the layers. You know what? This is funniest. Is the one time it's going to be the easiest stream for me to apply myself to and speak on. I bloody what's it? Delayed myself and have ruined that ease of articulation I granted myself in this fucking stream. I am definitely competent and know what I'm doing. I promise. The funny. This better be good. Yeah, it's gonna be good. Fucking what's it? You'll love it. Don't worry. Well, you won't because well, we're talking about horrible stuff. This isn't a bright stream. You know, talking about Arizona and its fascistic. What's it? Um, and the fascistic order over that state and the situation it's in. And these topic these blah, 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 blah. These two blogs I'm reading are not the full situation. This is only summaries regarding certain parts of it. One is about Arizona in a general sort of looking of it from the way that this part of America is a twilight zone, as it's called. Arizona, the twilight zone. Arizona, the twilight zone of America. And then secondly, we'll be talking about Midnight Productions. Midnight Productions is not fiction. Oh yeah. Free Palestine, long live the Jewish diaspora, Al Akbar. Antifa forever as well, hell yes. What's it? An end to this capitalist order and its oppression of the world. Freedom to all cultures, all places of the globe. And this is getting into the problem that we're dealing with Arizona, because Arizona is crushing people, crushing culture, Native Americans, African Americans, Irish people, you know, the list goes on, Asian people. These people are being, what's it? These people are under crippling oppression from severe, not just not just not just racism, not just typical racism. Islam is like the not just typical racism we're talking about here. We're talking about what's it? We're talking about fascism here. We're talking about extermination, like not just extermination, but also the acquiring of people for trafficking. I mean, Arizona is linked to the World Global Trafficking Unit. I mean, Jason actually exposed this for the Arizona Rebellion and PSFM. Um, was it 2 years ago it happened? I think. Yeah, I think it was 2 years ago he exposed it, or it was like early last year. No, I think it was 2 years. It was before the coronavirus, I think. The and you know that was like, and this is like as our guy Drift here has said earlier. Oh my god. The Islamic warfare 2019. Thank you. Well, I mean, like the reason, like as Drake Drifted said earlier, you know, UNRWA is heavily respected by people in Arizona. Um, this one here, I think it is. Yeah, UNRWA tells the truth. Nat has good rep in Arizona. I met him last year. And I think there was another one that went further into. I'm just seeing you call in. Oh, there we go. Arizona people love MRN and only UNRWA covered the downtown Maoist anarchist late night protest. Yeah, legend. But he's the only guy covering these things. He's the only guy getting on it with these things. Would anyone be surprised if Midnight Productions was trafficking kids to Seattle? I wouldn't be surprised if they're trafficking kids across the globe. But I know one thing they're definitely trafficking is trans people, as well as just as well as your typical sort of trafficking of women. There's a big market for that in all over the place. It's one of the parts of oppression that people who suffer with gender dysphoria don't have the opportunity to have spoken about, because you know these people that are suffering from this and are suffering from the side of gender dysphoria, the gender warriors in the able aristocracy have no even idea what these people go through or the fact they even exist, because they're cut off from them. And then you've got these lumpen trans folk that are being trafficked, so that they get caught in a position where they either have to alienate themselves further and force themselves even more to be what they're not, which is traumatic, or commit to what they feel that they are as a trans person and then be trafficked to be a fucking sex slave or worse. I mean, a lot of people just buy them just to kill trans people. I mean, you've got the opportunity to purchase someone to keep. What the fuck does that entail? What the fuck does that entail? And it's just always about trading people in this fucking godforsaken nation. It gets back into the fucking discussion from yesterday, wasn't it? I think it was yesterday where we talked about American patriotism. Yeah, and that, America is just founded on the trafficking of people. It'll never fucking stop until it's gone. But, we're talking smaller than America right now. We're talking Arizona, and Arizona is in its own little special situation, and I am actually just about ready. I just gotta tidy up my desk so I don't knock anything off, because that would be dangerous. The health and safety lumpen. Always remember to wear your seatbelt when sucking a bong on a plane. Alrighty. Just have a sip of drink and we can get to reading this. 16 minutes in and we're just getting properly started. I do apologize, everyone, as I put up with my painful voice for this long, saying pointless shit. I mean, if people had that feasible amount of money, but it's like I'd love to do something like that where we do be able to put a fund towards helping people like that and getting people out of these slave holding situations. But it's I don't know whether we're ever going to be able to have that economic feat. I mean, when we say abject and offensive things that people like us do, not many people are going to be willing to donate to things or help fund things unless it's the lumpen. And as a lumper myself, a lot of us don't have a fucking penny to spare, and if we do, we can only spend so much, and it would only come up to so much. This is one of them things where this society is built against people on an economic basis, trying to fight these criminal eugenic acts against the people. I mean, like, what's it? These are the types of people that see the disabled as lesser human beings entirely, to the point where they don't even want to acknowledge their existence as anything other than above. I mean, pretty much most of society is like that anyway, but it seems to be this, at least within society, they just fucking neglect you and treat you like you don't fucking exist. With the fascists, they're likely to shoot you. As for people in Arizona, I mean, there are people in Arizona. I remember Comrade Net, the angel, telling me about what's it? Sorry, 1 second. Comrade Net telling me about a moment when Arizona people started beating on this. I think it was a trans man. I think it was someone who was trans male. I think it was someone who had transitioned from a female to a male. Not to put down an offensive term, I just know some people get confused with the terms, because I got confused. I thought that, I get confused with stuff. I'm an old man brain. But they started beating the shit out of them, and fucking police watched and laughed, willing to get involved in certain situations. There was a situation where another trans individual, I can't remember which gender, so I'm not going to try and remember just in case I accidentally get it wrong, because I don't want to I don't like fucking guessing things wrong when it comes to fucking sensitive issues. The where the police have fucking essentially grabbed them and fucking arrested them for no fucking reason, and essentially beaten the fuck out of them. The police work in tandem with these fascists in Arizona, and it's a fucked up situation. And you're trying to be a trans person in that region, especially if you're fucking lumpen. You ain't fucking, you ain't getting on well there. I mean, if anyone's a middle class and trans, you've probably moved state. It's that bad. But moving state is not easy with Arizona. I mean, that's hence why the picture says "Papers, please." Arizona is a state that makes it very hard to leave, and they will I have seen fucking rewritten documents that have said that someone I know who was born in Europe was born in Arizona. They rewrite your history and say you belong to them. Ain't no leaving, son. They rewrite your motherfucking history, and then they make it much harder for you to leave. Dare you try. But anyway, we begin. Arizona, the Twilight Zone of America. I used to be on Twitter, Tumblr, and Reddit. I was a Marxist-Leninist. Just as I had done before, I use a picture of a frog now too. I was a member of the Lenin-Mao Communist Union. 3 of our members were murdered on June 8th, 2019. We have disbanded since then. Lately, I have been soul-searching. I almost became a Maoist third worldist, but I have insisted. Sorry, my bad. I have instead decided to become a Marxist, Leninist, Maoist. This is very relevant to me because we were doing revolution and we failed. That is why I am almost that is why I almost went completely third worldist. I decided to become a Maoist instead, realizing that the true Maoists agree largely with third worldism. So essentially what the point he's getting at to there is that he doesn't see third worldism as a point, because he just sees people following third worldism as people being true Maoists, is what I'm imagining is being inferred there, which makes a lot of sense. I know a comrade who's like that. Engels is a position like that. I don't agree entirely, because like first worldism has infected people Maoist or not. So I don't know. It's a fucking confusing discussion, and we're not having that discussion now. This is because I talked to the members of Panther Code, and they explained much to me. I was a Marxist-Leninist when in the Lenin-Mao Communist Union. The Lenin-Mao Communist Union was an urban communist vanguard militia. We studied Marxism, Leninism, and Maoism. The Lenin-Mao Communist movement had both Marxist, Leninist, and Maoist members. Arizona is a place of very poor education. The ill-educated from California have better prospects for employment in Arizona, which is why so many California's misfits move to Arizona. In my following post, I plan to explain my knowledge of the Proletarian Revolutionary Front of California chapter of Marxist-Leninist revolutionaries. I was the man they kept contact with when they had to deal with Arizona, and I even helped them settle 12 of my fellow Syrians in Phoenix, Arizona. The things that I have to write about in order to explain the terrible events of May 27th, 2019, May 30th, 2019, and June the 8th, 2019 cover a large range of topics. I will also have to explain what I understand to be the motives for these things. I will admit to something rather odd to the topic, only because I fear that this will be a barrier to a barrier in discussion. I identify as a straight male. My girlfriend was a trans woman, fully transitioned. She was murdered last year by a Phoenix police officer. See what I was going on about? You see what I mean? Like, this is just the shit that goes down. Like, they just get fucking murdered. Like, being trans is just fucking just enough for you to get shot as being black or being disabled in these regions. Or red, or fucking anything. Be Syrian, be Arab, be fucking anything. You are lesser than them if you ain't their Anglo-Saxon archetype. Actually, it's more so with these guys. It's more so if you ain't their Aryan archetype, as they even understand what Aryanism is and what that actually means. But fucking Hitler decided to turn being from Iran into a massive fucking ideology. I mean, it's essentially just being Indo-European. It's nothing fucking special. But their Aryanism, fucking fascist scum. Phoenix police officer, this is a cold case. I have no evidence for this, but the topics that will be brought up in the following posts will be controversial. Controversial. I can't pronounce the word properly, so you have to deal with both of them being wrong. All matters relevant to motive of murder must be brought up, but countless who shall read this will no doubt be very offended. That being said, my late girlfriend opposed the pinkwashing of Zionism. That is to say, she hated the way Zionists would promote the Zionist state as, quote, pro-LGBT, unquote, while simultaneously demonizing Palestine because of how much Hamas is said to oppose LGBT. The issues of transgenders will be brought up over and over again. Those who are transphobic will hate this blog, but those who refuse to approach the transgender question in peaceful and kind debate will also hate this blog. These murders happened for several reasons, and one of the reasons was that we had not been afraid to talk about gender questioning or the material questioning of transgenderism. We had several transgenders come to many organized Marxist and anarchist meetings on this very topic. I am most afraid of being accused of transphobia by several transgenders who don't understand where I and my comrades had actually been on this issue. At the same time, I am absolutely terrified of the transphobic and homophobic bigots who run wild in Arizona. Whenever anyone realized that my girlfriend had been born with all male parts, not only would she often get attacked, but I was accused of being homosexual. I do not hate gay people, but I take offense to being seen as gay, just as many lesbians may take offense as being seen as straight. And then it goes on to the picture for the stream, which is the Papers, Please. And this is going to be where we're getting the meats and gravy. Oh yeah, no, that's a good point as well, actually, Jeff. Even the gingers get it in Arizona. It's an actual fucking problem that go on there. They will fucking attack you if you're a fucking ginger. You're seen as a soulless person. Like, fuck me. What did South Park do to us? Lumpen gingers are screwed. Like, genuinely, you gotta have somewhere to hide out and not have to go out and have someone who can fucking help you get your things, or wear a hat all the time. Like, you're buggered. Hope you ain't got ginger eyebrows. Fucking hell. The National Socialist Movement is the largest neo-Nazi organization in the United States of America. Over the last several years of eyewitness testimony, recorded data, and photographs, it has become evident that Joseph Michael Arpaio, the former sheriff of Maricopa County, Arizona, and Republican politician, is directly connected to the National Socialist Movement. Most of the inhabitants of Arizona themselves are oblivious to what happens in Arizona. The most militant Jewish Defense League cells in Arizona work very closely with the most militant and secretive cell of the National Socialist Movement in Phoenix, Arizona, and Glendale. Typical fucking Zionists. Yeah, the JDL is not fucking good things. Like, when they say that they're the Jewish Defense League, they mean that they're the Zionist Defense League. The National Socialist Movement in Phoenix, Arizona, and Glendale, Arizona, contrary to all the claims that the Arizona chapters of the Jewish Defense League have been disbanded. One of the groups that ties into these events is Midnight Productions. And there we go, we're getting onto the spicy bits now, people. Scrap it or scrap on. Midnight Productions is a human trafficking porn syndicate that has a lot of protection given to it by the Glendale police force. Sorry, I'll re-English that because that was terrible. I do apologize for my fucking stumbling. Midnight Productions is a human trafficking porn syndicate that has a lot of protection by from the Glendale police. There's been some words are missing from what's been written there, but I'm not going to complain. We all have our typos. I can't type for shit. I have even confirmed that Midnight Productions has a presence in Heber Overgaard by several Navajos, natives, by the way, for those who don't know. The PSFM is made up of Navajo people. The poor know, the poor understand. Right on, brother. But no one is listening to the poor. Fucking exactly what I go on about. Exactly the fucking point. Like no one listens to the poor. The poor know. The poor always know these struggles. I mean, like I can go off topic slightly for a small second on this as well because like look at it with regards to a lot of other struggles. Who struggle for prison rights in prisons? Oh wait, it's the people in the fucking prisons and the people who've been in prisons out of the prisons. I didn't see aristocrats talking about the prison riots. Well, other than Jimmy Dore, but he actually comes from being, he was a bricklayer in his youth, so he's fucking got a little more balls than the average aristocrat, but not the point. Like, fucking, no one talking about them prison strikes that happened, where they fucking rose up and tried to get themselves better support for coronavirus. Because the aristocracy don't care, and it's the same with the Arizona struggle, but times a million. No one wants to listen to the poor. It's the poor going through this. They're the ones with the experience. The aristocracy, the ones benefiting off this situation. They get to live in their little fucking bubble world, whilst fucking people are getting trafficked about, murdered, fucking taken in the night. Horrible fucking shit. Squatter houses being destroyed. Shit has gone downhill big time on a lot of business because of the way that the fucking fascists have been scourging on there. And we've been trying to get the voice out. It's the whole point of when Jason come to it and was coming out there, and it's the whole point of that shitty relationship that started with B Level, to get the word out there of this people, because no one's listening to the poor. So we need, I mean, I know I'm poor, so maybe they ain't going to listen to me either, but no one's listening to the poor of Arizona, and we need to get their voices heard. And then fucking what's it? My breaths and my fucking energy and all my mind, I'm gonna try and fucking push this out there because they've got a fucking solid place in my heart in their struggle, and I can't just sit about while they fucking die for a fucking struggle while I'm fucking not at risk of fucking being shot or being dragged away into a fucking van and trafficked about. I've got a luxury over them, and I should use that, even if I am lumpen even if I am disabled, no support. I have liberty over them, and people should take that into account. Even if you're fucking suffering on your ass, you're probably doing better than the people who are doing in this struggle because they're fighting hard. They're fighting on their own. Well, I mean, they're all together, but I mean, they're fighting on their own. And America, outside of there, isn't really supporting them. People around all the other countries aren't really supporting them. We're trying to build up solidarity, but people just don't seem to fucking want to care about this struggle, and it makes me tither and fall to pieces. But this is why we're getting this out there, and if people ain't willing to listen, well, fucking, they can fuck off. But they need to stay and listen, really, and they need to fucking hear this, because this is some paramount and important shit. Me reading the what's it? I've already started reading. I've already got part way down. I don't know about LT's rant on the Arizona. Oh yeah, I've heard about it, but I've not watched it myself. I was told about that in the MRN chat. As far as I'm concerned, his fucking shit is disgusting. The way that he was talking about Arizona and the way he was compromising PSFM like that, like that's just not on. Like disgusting stuff. Like at the end of the day, as they would put it, LT is very apparently assimilated in his behaviors, and he's acting like a fucking jackass to people who are native people in struggle, and it's not on. Like I've heard the way people are feeling in Arizona about this, and they are not happy from what Net's told me. Net is not fucking happy with it either. It's disgusting. Schizos? What do you mean? What about them makes them schizos? That's what I don't get. What about? Because this was like fucking a couple of weeks ago now, and I don't know what makes them schizos. What's the fucking problem with jackasses like this? They've got to talk shit about the people who actually are in revolutionary struggle. Because what is the fucking problem? Is their rod so far up their ass that they can't accept that there are people in struggle that could do with their support? Because I don't know, maybe the struggle of the Arizonan people that are fighting against fascism is more important than him making fucking whiny videos about bollocks on the internet and saying racial slurs every time he gets the chance. No space for people like that. Dickheads. But anyway. Oh, fuck. There we go. Alrighty. The poor, no, the poor is no one is listening to the poor. It matters not to the common person in Arizona that several people who could not know each other throughout the state of Arizona confirm each other. Basic detective skills must only be used by the fascist cops. That is Arizona, and even a great deal of America. Please brace yourselves for the following posts. The posts will touch upon a lot of information that I will be unsettling and difficult for many to accept. I also encourage more to come out with this information, even if it is more to the anonymous variety. Arizona is America's fascist testing ground, and we must all fight back. That's the first article. My summarization on that one is that this gives a very nice sort of brief description on the fact that Arizona is not a state of it's not a state that people in the poor can stay safe. Now, it's not gone into the full beans and juice of the situation. What I read next on Midnight Productions should explain a bit more on the Midnight Productions situation. And then if I'm still feeling like it's not going to cloak the video up too much and I can find one that coincides and expands within this video, I'll maybe read a third one. But I'm going to be doing this as a multiple series thing anyway, because there's a lot of things to be read, and I'm going to read them all before I even go about releasing them. And then, because I've not got the full fucking, I'm not just going to, I mean, people can find Pocket Rail's blog spot if you really want to, but I'm not just going to link it straight up until I've got I got a lot of shit out, because I'd like to fucking not be turning and trying to funnel people into reading. But yeah, I do need to keep reading. I'm going on to the Midnight Productions is not fiction section. Don't worry, Drift, I'm not going to let this end until I've read everything. Like, this stream ending will not be the end of this discussion, and I'm going to be doing this as frequent as possible now. I'm getting sick of trying to get it out there and not being able to get it out there, so I'm just going to bat it out there. I've been trying to go to higher places, and if higher fucking places want to talk about this now that there's videos for them to look at and be like, whoa, well, this is an actual discussion to go on about, we can go for it, but what's it? I'm just fucking brawling in and making sure that my words on this have gotten out there to fulfill the promises I made to these people. Thank you, Drift. Like, what's it? It's a shame that no one has streamed Pocket Rail before, because these words need to be get out, and it'd be nice if even what's it, Pocket Rail was to come about and know about this. I wonder if they still exist on the online scape, because I know they have a YouTube channel still, but they don't upload anything. Okay, here we go. Midnight Productions is not fiction. Midnight Productions is protected by the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office. Many of the Phoenix Police Department and Glendale Police Department are a part of Midnight Productions. All the urban legends about Thomas and 72nd Avenue are true. All of the legends about Dogtown, Jay Park, and Chicago Bob exists. Eric exists too. Eric Scarletto. I may have fucking butchered saying that. Exists. The urban legend is real, and public records prove it. Years ago, you could barely mention Midnight Productions. There are people to this very day that still believe that even saying Midnight Productions openly in public will get you murdered. The reason why anyone would think this is because this tends to be true. The Bundist movement took on Midnight Productions, and Isaiah P. Kamatstein created rescue groups to help prostitutes escape from their grasp. Anna Toff more than once declared war on Midnight Productions. Taking them on even in a small way is considered, quote, chasing your own execution, end quote. This is the most dangerous post I have written so far. Bunny Lestung had a lot of business with Midnight Productions, including the recruitment of webcam girls. Jared 88 was notorious for dealing in some of the most expensive snuff films, although no one has ever really been able to get a photograph of Jared 88 or Buddy Listung. Eric Scarletto has a record open to the public, and in the last 3 years, several of the homeless population in Arizona know exactly where he is and where he hangs out, even though I have been ridiculed for not being able to provide enough names, quote, real names in brackets. I give you the smoking gun to this case. Eric Scarletto is the smoking gun. This is the real lead you need. Be warned, the FBI and the CIA are very dismissive about this case, even hostile about the very subject being mentioned. We live in the most insecure time. All information is being digitized. Digital information is the easiest to remove, so be warned. Screen save everything you can find and be selective of who you decide to bring this information to. The sheriff's department is looking more shady than both the Phoenix police and Glendale police on this problem. Eric Scarletto has very strong ties to the Aryan Brotherhood in prison. Whenever a European Jewish male has to spend prison time in Arizona, this typically spells out only two options. The first option is to be killed by the Aryan Brotherhood. The second option is to become a prison bitch to a black or a Mexican. It is not derogatory to say prison bitch. This is the actual term for it. Black Jews may have it harder on the streets, but they have it easier in prison. In prison, black Jews are recognized as black. In prison, a European Jew is not considered to be white by whites. In prison, a European Jew is considered to be white by blacks and Mexicans. I am sure there are Asians and Arabs in prison too that may make things a bit different, but it cannot alter this by much. I have met way too many people coming out of the Arizona prison system. I've spoken to several Arizona security guards. They tell me the same. I have a lot of knowledge on this subject. Since putting out this blog, I have been ridiculed and criticized. Every one of my blog posts hold the facts. This is the blog post that will take you somewhere with a real solid grasp of how this is all connected. Arizona is not some tropical paradise. This place is the #1 place in the United States where digital information is removed without question. Arizona is the #1 place in the United States where obituaries go unreported, regardless of how illegal that is. This is the top place for human trafficking. In Arizona, the police participate in the murder of trans teens. This, as I was going on about at the start of the stream again, this is one of the main themes on the snuff films told by Jared 88. Most of the rumors, most of the quote rumors end quote and quote conspiracy theories end quote on the subject of Midnight Production are dismissed as such because of how much the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office is involved. Eric Scarletto has a record. Look into him. He is a big deal. Yeah, that's short enough. I will go for more because we're only at 43 minutes. So, my man Pacquiao hit me up with the extra things. Okay. The confusion. Oh, that's the last post. I'll save that for later. Productions. That's a good one, but there we go. The police departments of Phoenix and Glendale. I think that'll be a good one to read. Good day, I'm Tom. Welcome to my humble abode. Now then. Just readjusting the screen so the words are very big because I've got polarized. No glasses. I don't know. Yankee is a fucking settler state, so that might be why you're there. Family moved there in the last 400 years. The police departments of Phoenix and Glendale. Within the Phoenix Police Department are members of the JDL Zionists and the National Socialist Revolutionary Guard. One of the biggest criminal actions carried out by the Phoenix Police Department is their participation in the murder of transgender people. I sometimes lose myself, being that I am a cisgender man, so forgive me that I tend to forget the proper usage of trans. I often forget to say trans people. I sometimes say transgenders. I just want it known that I am not coming from a place of hate. It may surprise you to learn that the Jewish Bundist diaspora movement had to deal with several accounts by the Phoenix police, who would raid public forum gatherings that served the purpose of discussion of the transgender question with trans people. The taboo subject of transgenderism was usually resolved in ways that offend most trans activists. Trans activists do nothing for trans people. The poor trans teens, often caught up in prostitution, are 1/4 of the snuff films that Midnight Productions produces are films containing the extremely violent murdering of young trans teens. Such films tend to have members of the Phoenix Police Department carrying out these murders. Most trans people fall into two categories. The first is the gender questioning, and the second is those with gender dysphoria. Many trans people tend to question their own transgenderism. Most trans suicides happen after transition. This information is mostly suppressed, and when it not suppressed, it is usually only fanatical evangelicals proclaiming something on this subject, which is usually done in the form of hate speech. The transgender question was originally started by Isaiah P. Kamatstein. The conclusion usually reached was that there is no material basis for the claims of transgenderism. The only validity that can be given is in the mystical. That's their Bundist position. I'm just reading what they say. I have a different position to them, but what's it, each to their own. I ain't gonna snuff what they say just because I disagree, and I'm not gonna spend here trying to gallivant on this. I'm just gonna get on with it. This is what they've come with their analysis from the good old pocket era. While it is true that there are women who don't menstruate, this is not normal. They're going the old school route. I mean, this is sort of patriarchal socialism as a different position towards the trans issue than we do. Today, there are cases of child custody rights over one parent demanding a sex change for their child. These discussions were important, and they have taken place in Glendale, Arizona too. Just like the Phoenix Police Department, many within the Glendale Police Department are also members of both the JDL Zionists and the National Socialist Revolutionary Guard. The Glendale Police are some of the most vile people in the world. Several people accounted among Midnight Productions are under the protection of the Glendale Police. The anarcho-syndical family, which had its gatherings in Glendale, Arizona, did a lot to expose Midnight Productions. Myself and my comrades in the Lenin-Mao Communist Union joined forces with the anarcho-syndical family in the pursuit of bringing down Midnight Productions. Related to this, the anarcho-syndical family once rescued 15 young trans teens. They were addicted to heroin. What the anarcho-syndical family has done was rescue these kids from Midnight Productions. One of the reasons why people do not like to confront Midnight Productions is they like to hack computers with a child porn virus. Usually what follows is within minutes the FBI is at your door. This happens much less now as more people become aware of this computer virus, but because this is still effective, it still happens. The Lenin-Mao Communist Union hosted at least 6 joint public forum gatherings with the anarcho-syndical family, furthering its transgender question that Isaiah P. Kamatstein started. And I'd like to mention on the computer virus thing, any dodgy links come up in the chat, do not fucking click them at all. Like anyone, especially non-profile picture things, because that would end up being something like that that's dodgy. You don't want to fuck with that. There's already enough links of things like that going around, and that's it. We're ruffling feathers of people that don't like their feathers being ruffled, and they're probably not going to like the fact that I'm across the globe from them. It makes me a bit hard to reach, but on we go. Don't touch any dodgy links. The Lenin-Mao Communist Union hosted. Oh wait, no, I think I've gone too far. where was I? Oh yeah, this. Most of these young trans teens began to rethink their transgenderism. Some people agree with traditional gender roles and some do not. But for those who question their gender roles, when they are given the space to think for themselves, they usually conclude that transition is itself is a way of conforming to gender roles. The transgender question has now been picked up by the Internationalist Resistance Guard, which is a group of Maoist third-worldists in California. Everyone aware of the Internationalist Resistance Guard knows that they are inspired by the leading light communist organization, yet they hold a few fundamental differences. Everyone aware of the International Resistance Guard knows that they are a breakaway from anti-conquista. The Glendale Police Department is known for sexually harassing young teenage girls. Isaiah P. Kamat-Zinn helped the Lenin Mao Communist Union and the anarcho-syndical family raise awareness on this subject. The Glendale Police Department is also known to wiretap average people and blackmail them. They have many informants as a result. The Arizonan cities of both Phoenix and Glendale serve as case testimonies against the very institution of the police. The police need to be abolished. It is time for the people themselves to form militias elected by the people and for the people to police themselves. So in the words of my comrade, the late Isaiah P. Kamat-Zinn, rest in peace, but, quote, blue lives don't matter, end quote. That was a damn good post, that was. 0. It's about time to read more, I think. Let's have a look. There we go. This expands on the situation. GDL, Zionism unity with neo-Nazism. Okay then. The last post leads directly into this post right here. GDL, Zionism unity with Nazism. That post does lead into this one, but it's about Syria, so I'm going to stick just with this one itself because it's more closely related to the actual Bundes movement in regards to the Arizona struggle itself, because I'm trying to keep this on specifically Arizona right now. I will happily talk about the points on Syria at another point in time, but I'm going to stick to the part 2 on this one because the part 1's about Syria. Your last post leads directly into this post right here. I think that's the case. I might be wrong. Have I gotten this confuffled? Yeah, I'm right. No stress. Okay. The Jewish Bundes, Nazis and Zionists down with both. Exactly where they're speaking the truth. The Jewish Bundes diaspora movement was on the path of exposing the connection between the neo-Nazi organization known as the National Socialist Movement and the Zionist Kahanist organization known as the JDL, the Jewish Defense League. Modern Bundism is a form of pantherism. Pantherism is on the rise. To understand pantherism, it is best to read this post from Panther Code. You know what, if it's short enough, I might read that now as before we go. Oh no, that is long, but, well, it's not long, but it's a bit chunky, and I'll be having to break it down because it's specifically about pantherism. Well, that's a video idea around. I'll do a video on Panther Code's, blog around what pantherism is and how that goes about. Thanks for the idea, Bundes movement, because it'd be nice to explain the Panther Code to people and why Maoist third worldists like myself subscribe to pantherism and why the Bundes subscribe to pantherism. I mean, why African Americans fucking come up with pantherism? I mean, it goes all the way to the core struggle. The Bundist movement has become very strongly connected to Panther Code, so much to that Panther Code gives the Jewish Bundist diaspora movement first recognition over other organizations for outlining the nature of pantherism. Yep, it's one of fucking many things that give me a high respect for the Bundist movement is their role in regards to aiding with the organization of pantherism and Panther Code. It's been an interesting project between the two, kicking the start off for now. They're not getting anywhere entirely yet, but the things are brewing up and we're building connections, and hopefully things are going to get more spicier as the things go on. Hopefully we can keep the Bundism alive with what's happened with everything recently in regards to the Bundist movement. That's something that I'm fucking constantly speaking with Nat about whenever we get the chance, because it's always busy, always busy. The JDL, Jewish Defense League, has always claimed to be modelled after the Black Panther Party. This claim is wholly false. The Black Panther Party was staunch in their anti-Zionist position. They practiced national cultural autonomy, and when Panther Code denounced the JDL as a fascist organization in 2016, Panther Code also denounced the entire NSM, National Socialist Movement. This is very significant because it is alleged Panther Code is all over the USA, yes. It's on the rise, but you know, it's getting things into a stable place where Panther Code feels comfortable to speak, because everything just keeps going to shit. It's drama, and no one wants to be involved with that, especially people on the street on the struggle. They want to hear stuff like this. They want to be hearing the words of the struggle. It's what we need on this fucking on this entire network. The words of struggle. It's what they're here for. It's what we're here for. So I mean, onwards. I'll keep that one on there for a bit as well. Nice little message for people. National Socialist Movement. This is very significant because it is alleged by many that Jeff Scop or Schwep, I don't know how that might be pronounced. It's obviously fucking some weird Germanic name. Maybe it's Skip. I'm going to offend the Germans and keep saying it wrong. I don't care. Personally attacked much of the leadership in Panther Code with smear campaigns on Facebook and Twitter. Panther Code publicly denounced Jeff Schweppes lemonade in a public park in 2019. Just one day before denouncing the entire JDL in the same public park. Allegedly, this brought about several attacks upon Panther Code, often with strange yet very interesting combinations of NSM and GDL members who raided their houses. In Arizona, many of the members of Panther Code would be raided by several Phoenix police officers that allegedly are NSM and JDL. Panther Code refused to redact any part of their claims concerning this accusation. The cause of Panther Code concerning this accusation. The cause of Panther Code to expose the NSM JDL connection was taken up and further what's it? It's the typical hidey of them. They always like to act like they're a form of like left wing or like new way thinking person, like they're the next era of things, when they're just some fucking back end fascist that likes to fucking what's it that's engaged in the fucking massacre of Jewish people. Like, I mean, people in general, but Jewish people, African American people, Irish people, Native American people especially as well. Like, you know, these people, like you say, good old little Nazis all the time, no matter what they tell you, no matter what they say they are. I see this with the fucking dingoes. By several supervisors just to reject any part of the same administration. This caused Panther Code to expose the NSM JDL connection was taken up and further by the Bundist movement. The Bundist movement managed to gather the attention that Pantheco could not, which is heavenly stuff on the Bundist movement's behalf, because there's more, the more we can get that, the words heard about this, the better. And that's why everyone needs to be spreading this shit here, there, and everywhere. And what's it? Um, tell them to skip in 19 minutes, because it doesn't really start reading it until then, unless they really want to hear me ramble while I'm fucking preparing myself. I don't know. Maybe people like that. Um, I'm not going to criticize. You suits you. The cause of Panther Code to expose the NSM JDL connection was taken up and further by the Bundist movement. The Bundist movement managed to gather the attention that Panther Code could not. I am convinced that because of how much the JDL Zionist and neo-Nazi threat goes ignored, that this is what will inevitably take over the entire United States of America. What I have provided in this post is what I believe to be the most obvious motive for the massacres that have been carried out by the Phoenix and Glendale police. It's the end of that good one. Going back. Let's see, what's this the conclusion on? Because the rest aren't Arizonan based, so I'll do a separate video talking about the different bits and pieces there. Maybe separate videos. There's a lot to talk about from Pacquiao. They don't just talk about the stuff regarding Arizona. They talk about a few bits and pieces here and there. The conclusion. This is my last post for this blog. I am grateful for the Marxist-Leninist Maoist Action, Third World Liberation, and Panther Code for helping me put up this blog. I hope that everything that I have written about is read in depth. I am going to be leaving the United States of America soon. I honestly wish I would not have come here. This is a very privileged country with a majority of bigoted citizens. I become part of the revolutionary struggle in Arizona, and it seems I have been in vain. In my heart, I will always carry the flame of revolution, but I am no longer to fight after this. I used to troll Twitter, Tumblr, and Reddit until I got tired of it. America poisons the world with such pastimes as trolling. The United States of America is not worth anything. It is a country based on lies and occupation, just as the state of Israel. This post is a post of review and conclusion. The conclusion that I have reached is that the Bundist movement advanced dialectical materialism. Donna Newman started the process of taking back the dialectic from COINTELPRO and making the advancements in dialectics. Uri Adia, or Adia, I think it's Uri Adia, was the first Bundist to answer the national question. Hannah Toff woke up a lot of anarchists by exposing the Zionism of Murray Bookchin. Mariam Emmersberg challenged Karl Marx as a historical revisionist of Eurocentricity, a notion that many Marxist-Leninists and Marxist-Leninist Maoists and Maoist third-worlders have in recent years had to consider, and rightly so had to consider, because he was very Eurocentric. Even Lenin had his problems. Marvin, especially his opinion towards people who are in like peasant state, constantly reflecting as just being backward. Marvin Eliyahu, 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 I think I can't pronounce it right. Echo Lima Indigo yesterday, Amber Hotel uniform. I didn't get the fucking phonetics right, but the spelling's there. And Isaiah P. Kamatstein both led the way to provide to Marxists a clear understanding of the validity of Jamahiriya. Yuri Adaya and Comrade Net together had a way of explaining the real issue with Syria. The real issue with Syria really is. Came to explaining what the real issue with Syria really is. As a Syrian myself, this is very important. That has sadly come to no avail. Everyone thinks that Assad gassed his own people, something that never happened. People praise the white helmets who kidnap children, dress them up in a way to make it appear like they are dead or dying, and then film it. Yuri Adaya and Marvin Eliyahu, or Marvin E., held hard evidence that much of the membership of the FSA, also American JDL, fucking GDL, American JDL. Oh yeah, membership of the FSA were also American JDL. Let me say FSA. Oh yeah, they did that. Okay, yeah, sorry. Well, my brain's having a flat moment. Is that Zara P. Kamatstein, Yuri Adaya, and Marvin E., name I can't say, witnessed just how controlled all the oppositions against Nicolas Maduro really is in Venezuela. The dialogue between Marxism, Leninism, and Bundism began thanks to Hannah Toff, Yuri Daya, and Marvin E. I was proud to be a member of the Lenin-Mao Communist Union, but what made all of us in my organization proud was our affiliation with the Jewish Bundist diaspora movement. We actually thought that we would be meeting Dr. Weisfeld out here and argue with him and rebuttal him because of how wrong he is on so many subjects. You gotta love the passion of people on the ground, the way that they'll just say it as it is. Of course, I would have won these arguments. Fucking nofty a bit about you, aren't you? Fucking me mate, good lad. Well, to be fair, Pockerell probably could fucking throw us all down. But we both would have most likely have kept it going until he surrendered to me because of all the facts I would push on him. What's it? The good thing about Dr. Weisfeld is he will continue to discuss with you until the end of the discussion. He's right on in there. Yeah, no, that is the FSA in a nutshell. I mean, it gets into like the whole sort of situation regarding Zionism, right on facts. But I mean, what's it? It gets into the whole relationship regarding Zionism. People will look to America's relationship with Israel, but they don't forget that Israel is a British creation, just like America is. That's why Israel and America are so many symbiosis to the way they operate, especially their segregative, apartheid, fascistic mannerisms of American exceptionalism, manifest destiny as it be. Because America became more fucking oppressive than the British to a degree. They wanted to fucking go even further than the British could. Like, I mean, we're still the most oppressive empire. I don't think they've matched the 1.8 billion in fucking India, but it's nothing to fucking brag on. That's fucking horrific. It's these empires all need to die, but Britain made Israel just like it made South Africa, just like it made just like it was involved with Rhodesia or involved with America. We have caused apartheid across the globe. We have caused imperialism to stretch globally. We were the first proper, truly global imperialist empire that spanned across fucking east to west and dominated and crushed and massacred and murdered. War, slavery, war, famine, death and disease, slavery, genocide, and radioactive seas. That's what the world we live in. A world of war, famine, death, and disease. Slavery, genocide, and radioactive seas. And that's because of the capitalist order. And exactly like, why people need to look at the full scope of these situations and not get so centered on just America as the big empire, because America is now losing its hegemonic position, and China is not going to be the only power challenging the US for hegemony. I think people would be mad if they thought that. The Britain didn't make the Commonwealth for no damn reason. Like, the European Union certainly exists for a reason, especially for any of those who have read Lenin's slogans, the United Nations of Europe, which gets into both what the European Union and the British Commonwealth entail for the revival of imperialism. But anyway, onwards with the wise words of Pockeral. I really wanted to talk to Dr. Weisfeld face to face and argue with. Oh yeah, I got past that point. Where was I? Oh yeah, maybe I will get to meet him in Cuba. If I see Dr. Weisfeld in Cuba, I'll buy the coffee myself. We will drink the coffee. We'll drink this coffee, and I will rebuttal him for all his incorrect views on so many subjects. Isaiah P. Kamat-Zine proved that being trans-skeptical is not the same as being transphobic. He taught us how to fight against the polarizing positions of transphobia versus transgenderism, pushing back against and exposing the National Socialist Revolutionary Guard as the Arizona terrorist wing of the NSM, headed by Jared 88 of Midnight Productions, seems to be the nails in the coffin. The 5 council members of the Bundes movement were murdered on May 27th, 2019. May they rest in peace. Coming from California, the Proletarian Revolutionary Front went out to Arizona to investigate the events of May 27th, 2019, and they were murdered on May 30th, 2019 for doing so. May they rest in peace too. Only one member of the Proletarian Revolutionary Front survived, and it was us in the Lumpen-Maoist Communist Union that helped him escape Arizona. This led to 3 of my comrades getting murdered on June the 8th, 2019. My 3 murdered comrades and myself made up the leadership of the Lenin-Mao Communist Union. I could have kept the organizing going, but it is better if the other members form their own ML and MLM organizations, and let these Arizona Revolutionary Socialist militias haunt the fuck out of Arizona. It is further my hope that the Maoist street code is used. If the Maoist street code gets used as hoped, then maybe the revolutionary vibe will become a revolutionary storm that the police will never be able to stop. The motives for these murders are many. They are interwoven. To understand in full, please read all of these posts. Please click on every link and read those too. This will give you the full context and understanding necessary to grasp what is happening this year in Arizona, and that's just it linking back to all the posts from before. But I mean, may all these people in their struggle and rest in peace that have died for the survival of this conflict. I mean, the fact that people want to try and turn around and say that Midnight Productions isn't real, the fact that, I mean, we've even dealt with them ourselves with Moren and I, before I fucking come along directly, but I've been involved with Jason for a while anyway. We dealt with that ourselves. People trying to turn around and say there's no war, there's no conflict in Arizona. Like, fucking pardon is what comes to my fucking mind when I hear someone say that. Like, pardon fucking me. What the fuck is going through your brain? Because to turn around, especially considering one of the people who said this was someone who had like representatives from Arizona coming to him to try and get him to promote their struggle, and he turned around and said he would promote their struggle, and people in Arizona had heard that and were right banking on that and were hoping for that, and it never happened. Instead, he turned around and said that the struggle didn't exist. It's not happening. Nothing. There's no war in Boston State. There's no war in fucking there's no war in Arizona to these people. And it's like, okay, there's no war in Arizona. Say that to the people that are being murdered. Say that to the people that are being murdered for being trans. Say that to the people that are being murdered for struggling. I mean, the murder that happened on the 27th of the council was during a fucking, it was at a synagogue. It was a synagogue massacre. It was a wedding. And they gunned all these people down. It's a loss of not just life, but life of fucking like people who are struggling for the lives of others. This is the people that are the future freedom of against fascism in Arizona, and they've been massacred left, right, and center. Not just massacred for their struggle either, but massacred for daring to be black or Jewish or native or fucking Asian or Irish or etc. You know what I mean? Like, especially out on the streets for black Jews, they are fucking double done when it comes to being targeted. I know that we just read about it's different inside prisons, but on the streets, fuck me, it's another question for them people. They're getting shit. And what's it? I don't know this because I'm down on the streets. I'm all the way in fucking Britain. I know this because I've fucking listened to the people that are there that have said that they want their voices to be heard. I've listened. And that's what people need to do. They should listen to this, and they should be listening to the fucking words of people that try and speak for the Arizonan people and to get that word out there. And anyone asked to get the words of the Arizonan people out there should be damn well willing to get it out there, because this is a struggle of people being murdered for their freedom. When what I like it's supposed to be in America as well. Like what for you guys fucking had the little radical leave from us for freedom. Oh wait, no, because any of them dickheads that have been promoting America as fucking America's revolution as anti-colonialist, they're fucking full of shit. But yeah, no, actually, plop that on. We're gonna take a moment just to mourn. The blessed are the dead. And all those who have been fighting in this struggle, rest in peace. And we need everyone to get this as far and wide, and anything else that you're talking about this as far and wide, and anything else that exists online about this far and wide. Everyone needs to know about this struggle. Absolutely everyone. And until it's spread about wired and fire, I'm not gonna feel like I'm gonna be able to have a nice comfortable sleep at night. I'm not gonna be resting easy. I mean, I don't sleep comfortably anyway, I just believe, but I won't be mentally resting easy. I won't be able to feel relaxed, because as far as I'm concerned, this is something that's eating away at my mind. That, you know, especially when we've been focusing on drama and stuff, it's been beautiful. We've been focusing on the proper struggles. Like anyone needs to be watching that Palestinian video I did with about our boy. That is a fucking absolutely amazing stream. I'd say it's probably one of my best, if not my best. It's certainly my fastest grossing stream. Um, I had something buzzing then. What the fuck? Yeah, they need to watch that. But they need to be watching this too. This is the thing: is that I've done my piece in regard to the drama that I was involved in, because I was involved in it, and I will do my piece to speak about issues that have been brought up around certain things, like, you know, when some certain people have made a stupid, you know, like there's been a lot of Americans, especially Communist Party USA, making stupid claims about American patriotism. So I make a general video on it. I'm not focusing on drama. I'm focusing directly on people. I am driving a force in this fucking organization that we're pushing to do real shit for real people, because there's no point us doing all this fucking petty bollocks that everyone's been doing. And I've come in and it's been disappointing dealing with it. It's been stressful. It's been a heartache. And I'm coming out to say this, that we're driving forward to be trying to talk about proper positions within the fucking, what's it? the elders of MRM, people like me, people like fucking people like Dr. Novi are going to be bringing it onto more real discussions. People like Engels is bringing it onto more real discussions. Pan-Islamic power, bad our boy, hell yes. I like that. I mean, what's it to the fucking progeny of let's convert Nazis to Jews, show third world internationalism. Okay, funny. Yeah, it was unfortunate the way he was killed. It fucking scars my mind to this day. But fucking hell, can't unsee that. Can't unsee that shit. But yeah, I want to be driving the force for more serious and more serious content and driving it into real issues, talking about colonialism, the anti-first world shit, the anti-labor aristocracy shit, the there's still a big discussion I want to get to onto the third way and why that shit is just straight up fascism. And Biden being a third way Democrat shows him as an institute of the fascist order of things, and that parties don't exactly matter when you've got, because there are neo-Nazis that incorporate a shit ton of the Republicans, but they're tools of the Democrats. The Democrats are the high controllers of capital within the US. They have been since Roosevelt. I mean, the Democrats was also the party that formed out of the party that was fucking defending slavery. So, I mean, what's it? You've got two racist parties. The one that says it's the one that wants to bring slavery back, and the one that was fucking not willing to let slavery go. What a fucking rock and a hard place for fucking colored people to be in America. Oh yeah, what are you gonna vote for in this election? The party that couldn't let go of slavery with the Democrats, or the party that wants to bring slavery back with the fucking Republicans? It's like, fuck me. But no, we need to be bringing real shit down onto the table, and that's what this stream was about. You know, reading a lot of the pieces of Pocky Rao, getting into the struggle of Arizona and what they've been going through, and the fact that the state that they're in now is a fascist testing ground for the rest of America. Arizona is a twilight zone. It's in its own fucking bubble as people are being fucking massacred in the same way that people are massacred around America for being black. But no one's hearing about it. No one's hearing about it. No one's listening to the poor people on this in the same way that no one listens to the poor African Americans when they're going on about their problems about being shot. The only time people will ever get involved in these things is when they want to tokenize them, because these white aristocrats don't care about the poor struggle. They don't care about the poor struggle of anyone, black, red, white, or fucking yellow. They don't care. No, what's it? It's not even Jim Crow in Arizona. I, it, yeah, I know. It's fucking what's it? Yeah, I couldn't fucking word it better, comrade. This is where speaking from experience gives you so much more of an ability to word it. It's not fucking just Jim Crow like it is in the most southern states. This is chaos. And as I've had a great comrade Net described to me, the Arizona is dominated by the very fascistically minded middle class, which comes into the very fascistic class tendencies of the aristocracy. And I've always put this question here: the aristocracy are quote blind to this stuff unquote, but I wonder how blind they really are, or how much they're blinding themselves to it. That's the thing I always question to it, because they exist around, and surely they see these things somewhere. Surely they hear these things somewhere. They just want to dismiss it so they can live about their lives because they've got the capacity to do so. And they do that on essentially the graves of these people. I mean, how can they not see it when people get dragged and beaten and fucking shot in the streets as things happen? People get kidnapped in the streets. Yeah, anarchists are fucking like Oh, the anarchist he's on about, Drift, is one of those internet anarchists. That's why he's put it in brackets. Like I've straightened him out on the fact that the lumpen anarchists in Arizona are legends. Of course, especially their line on culture. It's fucking stupid. Like I do apologize, my anarchist brothers and sisters on the ground, but you can't be merging culture all together like this. That's not how it works. National cultural autonomy, local cultural authority. Local cultural authority was something I thought of when I was hearing people go on about the issues between, like, ignorance of national cultural autonomy, and I was just thinking of, I mean, the strength in culture is the diversity within cultures themselves, not the fact that you can just mingle loads of different cultures to make diversity. Culture itself is already very diverse. So if you're trying to build a commune system that already has a local basis to it, if there's a local cultural authority to the local cultural, what's it, um, differentiations that exist within these locales, so that when a certain government is organized, it's very much centered around the culture of the one world culture is imperialistic. They're very much centered around the government or organization of the local body of power, which is where government should begin. That's where it should build up, not from the top down like it is in bourgeois society. It shouldn't be centralized in a way it is in bourgeois society either. It should be a decentralized organization of power. Organization of how you decide and do things is a different case. I'm not on about centralization of economy. I'm on about power. Power should be decentralized. It should be in the caucuses of the people, the locales, the you know, and with this, you have the cultural authority within these blocks that helps then organize the block within society, that then formalizes the main cultural block of that country, which is the then cultural autonomy of that nation. That's the that's the nation of those peoples, but their local blocks of power that formalize their society are centered around the local differentiations within culture that exist within these societies, so that it best incorporates the most within people within humanity, and doesn't suppress culture as we have for the last so many centuries of colonialism. Not just suppress, but eliminate, destroy. Anarchists don't force their way on others, though. I give them that. Yeah, solidarity and respect to them on that. And as they've said themselves, they are willing to learn and change and grow and other stuff like that. So I've got 1,000,001 buckets of respect for them on this stuff. I mean, people don't take into account that these anarchists are a lot different to other anarchists. Like, they've basically turned around and been like, nada to these old anarchists of the day. They're fucking labor aristocratic toffs that don't understand shit about the struggle of the people. And they've turned around and said as well, not only has there been cases of Marxism aiding both anarchist struggles that have existed within society, although I hate regarding Machno as an anarchist. I didn't see him more as a pirate. And the CNT but also the way in which things crumbled and the way that they went against them and the way they ended up losing and failing, and anarchism then has never really managed to succeed, while socialism has succeeded on the Marxist-Leninist front, even if it did deteriorate. And they've turned around and said, we're going to learn from this. And that is, that is right at them. They said they need to learn from all these things. Oh, hello, comrade Gerard. How you doing, my friend? You are at the end of the stream, but I'm just gonna ramble on for a bit and fucking see what I'm thinking. I don't know whether anyone's up for this. I'm thinking of ending this one and starting a new one and doing a discussion on the PragerU homeless video, if anyone wants to see that, because I think that would be an interesting thing. Because I'll do it. It'll be the same time as now, but I'll just be ending this stream to separate it up. You game for that, bad old boy Angel Wade? Shall I go for it? Well, you can chicken out, but if people are game to watch it, watch me criticize the Prager You Homeless video. I'll end this and I'll go on to that now. Might be a bit of a brighten up because of the, we've been talking about a very harsh topic, and it'd be nice to get onto something that I'm going to actually reflect into a discussion as I go through the video onto not just the issues of right-wing people's perspective to the homeless, but the positions of people on the left's perspective to the homeless as well. Exams are fake. You're fake. I'm fake. Everyone's fake. My computer is just fake. I mean, everything is just a metaphysical concept of my anus. You're all just constructs of my ass. Will you continue to represent the struggles of Arizona and keep on this subject again, though? I'm going to be continuously representing the struggles of Arizona, Drift. This is not over yet. This is never going to be over until the struggle of Arizona is over. As long as they're having to fight against fascists, I'm going to be fucking brawling for their words, and I'm going to make this as common a discussion as possible. I'm going to get into more sensitive documentation once I've got them vetted and talked about with Comrade Net, because there's testimonies that I'm going to get into next rather than blog posts. And I think you'll be really into the testimonies when I get into them. I think I might even do that over the weekend. Actually, I might. Hail, comrade. Hell yeah. All respect to your Drift. You're a legend. Like, this struggle cannot be allowed to die. This video, the next video is talking about this discussion. The white man is indeed gay, Drift. You are correct. Just in case people aren't aware. I guess that includes me as well. Fuck. I've been caught. But anyway, funny jokes aside, this series is because it's not going to stop here, and it might as well be called a series. It might as well be called a fucking a full blown fucking show with how much I'm going to be speaking about this, because I ain't going to stop. And so long as fucking people on the ground keep feeding me information, I'll keep funneling it to you. And that's to anyone else on the ground as well who might be hearing this because they're watching this. You got information. Fucking, I'm happy to put that stuff out there, because there's more we can get information out there to the people of the world, especially the people of America, about this struggle. The more that people can't ignore it, it's going to be blatant eventually, especially the more vivid the stuff we can get. And I'm more than happy to keep people's identities as anonymous as possible. That is certainly a part of my operation and all of this. I'm not going to turn around and fucking dox people if they don't want the fucking information out there. That's not on me. MRN forever, hell yeah. But you don't have to have your name public for me to talk about your stuff. I'm more than happy to keep your details hidden. I'm a lover brother of your struggle. As I've heard Pink Purple Girl call me, I'm the quote lumpen warrior of end quote. So I'm fucking here for you. You got words that need to be said, I will put them out there. That goes for a lot of people's struggles as well. Third world people, fucking what's it? Fourth world people, lumpen people, disabled people, working class people, all across the board. You're all welcome for your fucking plights and struggles to be enlightened through this fucking channel, because I'm a struggling disabled person myself and not very good at doing these things. That's why I tend to do unscripted streams, because I can't really write scripts very well at all. Ends up taking me way too long for it to be productive in any way. So I just go on off the top of my head. Sometimes I'll write some notes. This time I didn't, because I had the blogspot to help me out on this one. Although I took ages to get myself started. Ha ha ha. I do apologize. But I think either tomorrow or on the weekend, I'm going to be talking more about this issue. I'm going to be, because I'll try and wait, actually it might have to wait a bit, because I do believe there's Jewish holidays on right now, so I don't think I'm going to be able to get a hold of Net for a little bit. If he gets a hold of me, I will speak to him. But I mean, if he is fucking watching this, because I know he can't do the social media right now, but I think during this one he can still watch things. But it's during the next one, it's going to be all things off. I can't remember. Maybe it's still all things off. But if he is able to watch this right now, don't think you have to rush to contact me, Net. If you know, I remember you saying you've got consistent Jewish holidays right now. Just contact me when they're done. So I'll have to do that when it's done. But I think what I'll do now as well is I'll sign off with all my respect and love for the people of PSFM, Panther Code, Maoist, Marxist-Leninist Maoist Action, the Lenin Mao Communist Union, and the Bundes Movement, and there was another group and I can't remember their name. Drift, do you know what group I'm missing? I'm missing a group. Oh, the Arizona Rebellion, and the what was the old anarchist group called before the Arizona Rebellion as well? There was another one, wasn't there? Is it the anarchist? Fuck. It's like they wrote something called the Anarchist Street Code, or is that just the Arizona Rebellion? I'm confused. Oh well, it doesn't matter. I've named enough. For those that I'm missing out on, you can beat me whenever you get to meet me when we finally put the fun together with MRM for us to all have a big, um, big family get together of the MRN unit, the Anarcho Syndical family. That's it, you legend. The Anarcho Syndical family. Not only rest in peace to all your comrades that are lost, but not just a place in my heart, but absolute love for you all. Love you all to bits, even though I haven't got the chance to meet you all, because your struggle means that much to me, and your solidarity to you all. And I'm not gonna let this go. This is not just on the basis that I've got lumpen principles that mean that if I give a fucking promise, and it's not just lumpen, it's proletariat in general, but lumpen principles, as far as I'm gonna put it, is that when I give a promise, I stick to it, and I swear down on my fucking, not just on my own livelihood, but on the graves of my family members and on the graves of my ancestors, that I am committed to this, and I am not going to let you go. And that my not just my mind is in the struggle, my heart is for not just in the struggle, but for all of yous. And I hope that I hope that this stream manages to reach the heart of other people. I'm gonna try and lively it up and stop this one and start a new one and do the homeless video, because I think that would be interesting, just to lighten things up a bit, because I'm feeling really depressed. Like I'm fucking like I'm what's it? This shit hits me like a brick. I really can't fucking stand the way that people just ignore this struggle. So that's it. I'll catch you guys in a short second. Red salute, comrades. Absolute legends. Love you all.